performance here? Do you think Titan are going to just lock this down and rise to the top once more? Shox has started things off in a pretty convincing fashion with a few headshots, but here comes Twanu with his own frags. There's going to be a third one up for debate. He lands it! Oh my goodness, LDLC.White, have my babies right now. Please. Where's the caster? Twanu with the plays. And once again, Titan get the opening picks and then just get demolished. Absolutely destroyed. That has been a consistent factor on these last, well, this last map and a round, I suppose you could say. Here comes the play, though, from LDLC.White as they start to push themselves through long. 3 MAC-10s in play with 2 assault rifles. Long-range MAC-10 headshot from map3, who's gone in for a second one. Does connect it, but then will get picked off straight afterwards. Body's there. So is Fuchs, and like that, LDLC.White will secure themselves a second round. And they're going to be hoping for a carbon copy of how Cash started, where they took a convincing lead, 4-5-0. Do you have a black screen as well? If any of you guys are suffering with Twitch issues, black screens, or choppy quality or anything, hit the refresh button. It should fix it for you. And someone could type that in chat as well for those that can't hear. That would be awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. Devil's going to be pushing up here with a MAC-10. First frag does connect, and he went for that reload, so he's a tiny bit vulnerable for a couple of seconds, but Scream didn't push in. He will fall down the same way. Devil's still alive with 24 HP. Finally gets picked off from Shoxy, but there's a retaliation frag again, and as expected, Titan will be bowing out of this third round. No weapons to save. P2000 and USP on the remaining 2 CTs. Maybe looking for an exit frag. Bomb hasn't been planted just yet, but it will be very soon. Am I British? Guys, can you not tell by my voice if I'm British or not? Come on now. Come on now. I've said cheeky a couple of times, I've said banter. Do you know any Americans that say that stuff? Or maybe they do actually, I don't know. Smiths is pretty much Iron Man at this point, just every bullet deflecting of him. Taking like 1 damage. Of course he's getting wall banged, but still look pretty weird. And Body's going to clean things up. I am English. I think he's an Aussie. That's right. I've been, honestly, since I started casting, I've been called Australian, Scottish, Irish, Welsh, South African, a Kiwi, so someone from New Zealand, American, Canadian. I don't know. Say water. There you go. You speak London very well. It's awkward because I'm from the northeast, but okay, thank you. Here come Titan, though, trying to break the deadlock here on Cobblestone. Maybe still reeling after that performance over on Cash. Here comes the set play from LDLC.White. The boost up on the tree is doing a pretty good job, but Smith has to relocate. RPK maybe missed his opportunity. Goes back in for seconds. Finally gets his man. But Fox now decides to push on through. They nearly line up for him, but he can't get it done. map3 and Devil, the last 2 remaining terrorists, not a great hope of getting this round clutched, and the first player has fallen. Devil now with the M4. Use that flashbang, trying to pop his way out of there. Can't get the spray on point, and Titan finally get their first round on the board and keep 3 weapons alive in the process. Big round for them. Thank God I know French so that I can understand what you're saying right now. Yep. This is the French stream, guys. Absolutely. Kind of was the French stream earlier. We could hear Smiths and a couple of the Titan team talking amongst each other. Seemed pretty confident, saying it's going to be over fast. Unless they were saying it would be over fast because LDLC.White would wipe the floor with them, in which case that was spot on analogy. It was an incredibly quick map. Again, here is the set play over on the B side in the tunnel. Smiths is in prime position. He's going to look for that pop flash potentially as well. If this push comes out, he could be the man in position to strike. But it's the Molotov that comes out. He will be forcing his way. Oh, he's so unlucky not to get a single kill. Look at the amount of damage that he inflicted on everybody there. They nearly lined up for a 4-man, but instead, it's the rest of his team that comes down, and Smith seemingly getting assists onto everybody. Fox, what could you get done here? Can you stress that economy a little bit for the CTs? First frag down, tries to switch to tapping. RPK is too good to let that one slip. Favourite football teams, Newcastle United. I'm from Newcastle, so it would have to be. And we were getting wrecked until the last couple of weeks. We beat Liverpool and Tottenham, which was really surprising. Everyone speak Manchester City. Do you mean the same Manchester City that got shreked off Stoke? Mad. So, here we go. That's a very blue case-hardened AK-47 that RPK has his hands on. But it's finally actually. Bomb dropped back towards the hallway. LDLC.White. What I'm hoping doesn't happen, and so far pretty much all their rounds barring one have been over on the B side. I'm hoping there aren't a one-trick pony here, a one-hit wonder on that B side. I hope they do start to mix things up on the A side as well, otherwise Titan are the kind of team they will be able to call this. And they will set up accordingly, so let's see if LDLC.White have a few more tricks to offer. This is definitely a slower round than what we've seen before. Typically they'd be executing by now. That first kill is definitely going to go some way. It's maybe making a decision for them. Here comes Body. He's only pushing up first. Twanu gets the pick onto Smiths, who is desperately trying to seek for a place. Shox has the AWP, but it's actually on the other side of the map. It's all in existence. He's by himself for seemingly forever. And he gets put down, and Titan now in a battle just to save their weapons. LDLC.White will come out swinging and pick up yet another round. Cobblestone's the kind of map, though, I think the terrorists can definitely get a whole bunch of rounds. You're looking at 9-10 potentially, depending on the sides. So it's not quite alarm bells ringing just yet for Titan, but this does mount the pressure that much more. And, of course, the economy is going to start to play a huge part as well. I made Gaz from Geordie Shore. I don't watch Geordie Shore, but I do know who Gaz is. No. It's a simple answer. So it's like both weapons will be kept in the lockers of Titan, including an AWP and M4. RPK could force out a buy here. They could drop a FAMAS from Scream, or even an M4 if he wants to sacrifice grenades. Or alternatively, they could just straight up save from this point on and afford a full buy up next round. And that appears to be the case. Just an upgraded pistol for RPK with the Kevlar, so he can get the M4 next round. No problems. This is a bit of a more powerful buy than maybe LDLC.White were hoping for. But still, expect them to have this one locked down pretty convincingly. It's going to be a slow round, maybe anticipating the rush of upgraded pistols from the CTs. The boost is in, Smith takes heavy damage, but still alive with that CZ. Dom mad because he's from Sunderland. And Twanu is going to open up the first frag. RPK gets picked off, and you can see again that Titan, they're playing pretty aggressive position. Shox with the AWP actually went all the way up to long A to have a quick peek across mid, see if he gets someone off that was looking for the rotation. They still have 3 players on the site though, and Shox is starting to push in. So they've rolled the dice. They've pretty much banked on the B play. And as I said before, the LDLC.White have consistently went for this. Smiths gets flashed behind the box. They don't want to check it. No, they don't. And there is Scream. He's going to land the first one. He gets picked off afterwards, however. And now Shox. Here's the last remaining CT. And look where he is. He's not even in a position to save this. He has to go for broke. Mathen's going to peek, and he's going to pick up the frag. So Shox kind of banked, put all his chips in the B play corner. Unfortunately, LDLC.White were up for the task. And now Titan have gone for that force that I mentioned before. But it includes a 5.7 and a FAMAS. Twitch is having some problems. Yep. Often it does. If you're having issues, guys, try dropping the quality of the stream, or alternatively refresh the stream, and it hopefully will help you out. Okay, so another maybe fake onto the B side. This time the bomb is over in mid. So this could be somewhat of a little fake out from the terrorist. You can see that map3 is coming up with that bomb. He has the AWP of Twanu just behind him. And the players that could be seeing the action here is both Shox and Scream, holding mid and long respectively. Scream is constantly peeking though, just trying to get a quick eye towards long, and he's about to see maybe a couple of players peeking. And map3 could be taking point here. There's 3 players stacking up in close proximity. Scream! He's just heard a noise. I swear he just heard a footstep. And he could see from his positioning that he was happy enough to just back away there. If they don't make that noise, he could have just been picked off from behind for free. Instead, he's relocated to the back of the site. He's still alive. He did do quite a bit of damage with that grenade before leaving. And now the push is coming in, but there are 4 players from Titan that are here in close proximity. That being said, Fox has picked up the first frag. He's going to push in. map3 is there. We'll get the trade out. The bomb has been dropped on the floor. But if the T's can just lock this down anyway, it's not going to matter. 2 players remain for Titan. Time itself is starting to tick against LDLC.White. However, Shox is caught behind the bomb there, and he is going to end up getting picked off. Existence now, your last remaining CT player. They line up for him. He's not going to get anything done, although Devil was knocked down at 2 HP. So unfortunate. LDLC.White move ahead once again now to 6-2. And I can definitely believe, and I do remember casting a game actually a couple weeks ago. I can't remember who was playing though, but it was like a 90-10% and a 10% one. I was going to say, people that have bet on Titan, they must have their butt cheeks clenched pretty hard right now. This has got to be a bit worrisome. LDLC.White are in such a good position. Remember, if you've just joined us, as you can see, it's a 1-to-1. Titan wrecked Dust 2. They absolutely took LDLC.White to pieces on that map. Then LDLC.White on cash, their choice of map, won it 16-2. And now we're on the 6-2 scoreline with Titan in an eco. The next buy is not going to be great either. Body's going to be coming through first. Will catch himself a bullet or 2 from Smiths, but there's Existence as well. He's going to fall the same way from Body's AK-47. Shox now trying to come in with that deagle. If he can hold the angle, maybe he can land a couple of one-taps to make this interesting. There's the first one. Can't get the second one done. Scream now with the P250. We know how strong he is with this weapon. We've seen it on the previous 2 maps. Again, though, against 4 players. If this is like a 1 versus 2, you'll have a slight inclination that maybe he could pull it off, but 4 players, surely no chance, especially when you consider the positions of LDLC.White are pretty much perfectly. In actual fact, it's Fox who's coming up from behind, and he would have had that frag had Devil not connected the AK-47 headshot, so Scream was dead either way. And the buy comes in, as you can see, with the AWP being picked up. It's actually better than I originally thought it would be, which is down to the round loss bonus. But the problem comes in that Shox has no Kevlar. Is this another bug? Existence has $900 and he didn't buy a defuse kit. I'm just double checking because sometimes it takes a while for it to update. Yeah, you can definitely see Existence has $900, did not pick up a defuse kit, and that's pretty significant, especially if this bomb gets planted. It may not seem like a great deal. Let's see if that's going to end up being the determining factor in this round. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. He's looking pretty good for this. They can rotate. You can see the bomb is moving its way through mid. Oh dear, it's just going to be Shox. He's got an AWP. This isn't the best weapon to hold off unless he lands the first shot, and he has very quick reaction speed. But of course, he can hear the gentle pitter-patter of footsteps coming towards him. And now after that information has been gathered, the CTs are starting to move into position themselves. They're lining up the frags. They're picking them off. Twanu on the other side of the map with the AWP in play does not have the bomb, and therefore going to have to play this one slow and steady. I was worried there, man. I thought if the bomb goes down, if Titan end up losing in a round where they could have defused if they had a kit, that's a massive error from Existence, who could have afforded to buy one. But instead, it looks like this is going to be a shutout. Or have I spoke too soon? 30 seconds left. There is time if Twanu can get himself close enough right here, right now. But he's still playing it slow. He just wants to maybe hang on to this AK. Important to mention as well that if Titan lose another player or 2, that in itself could be a minor victory to LDLC.White because the economy isn't going to be great. And that round loss bonus is going to be wiped clean after this round. But Twanu playing it slow. He should be able to save this AK. I can't see Titan chasing him too hard. And so we will move into a 7-3. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Who is performing, who maybe not so much. Pretty even across the board. You've got 3 players on 9 kills for LDLC.White. Devil's on 8. And no one on Titan have more kills than deaths. Did I say AK-47? I meant an AWP. Relax, guys. I'm special, okay? Sorry. I meant an AWP. I really did. But there you go. RIP. Didn't you know that now in the newest patch, you know, with all the Call of Duty changes that have been made with, like, kill cam? Now all the AK-47s come with a rifle attached, like the scope attached to the rifle. Right? That's the newest patch. Yeah? You can get them in crates now. You can get little sights put onto the weapons. Anyway, Swanu's going to pick up the first frag, and he's actually hungry for more. Latent's there as well. I can't see how RPK gets away with this one. My goodness, RPK went out there very aggressive. I'm not entirely sure that I agree with that play. You know there's an AWP out there. Peeking is always a bit of a dangerous proposition, especially when you don't have the information to know who else is maybe lingering around the sides. Existence on the rock is a pretty decent place if you can land the headshots from there. The problem is that as soon as you give your position away, there could be an influx of grenades firing your way. That's not the case, actually. Shocks comes in, lands the headshot. Or just the raw on chest shot, actually, my apologies. And now it's on Twanu. 15 seconds. Save the AWP from last round. Or the AK-47 Kappa. And there are 10 seconds now for him to get that bomb and potentially get himself onto the site. Existence is playing this one passive. 4 seconds. Twanu's going to time himself out here. Again, maybe just trying to hold on to the AWP. Oh, and he gets picked off after time. That is a catastrophe for him personally, as he will lose a fair chunk of his money. RIP. $5K left for Twanu. AK-47's up for him. And a Titan starting to mount a bit of a comeback here in human erections. Hey, well, the thing is, though, Twanu's the last guy alive, typically because he's the AWPer, right? So, if his team are kind of pushing in and he's just kind of lurking around the sides, looking for those picks. Twanu's the kind of AWPer that is quite slow anyway. He's not the likes of like a Guardian who's going to constantly go for the aggressive peaks afterwards. Or try and get the opening picks. Twanu's a much more slow, steady kind of AWPer. So it doesn't surprise me a great deal. That's not a knock on him either, by the way. That kind of gameplay definitely suits his style. Okay, cool. Was he expecting the flashbang? That's the only thing that I can assume right now. It looks so awkward as he's just staring at the wall. Ooh, it's pretty bricks. Brilliant. You're dead, mate. Maybe assuming the pop flash would come in before the actual initial charge. Either way, though, Titan have held on to yet another round, and they're starting to make this a bit more interesting. As I said before, a lot of T sides will end up getting more rounds. We'll be getting around that 8-9 kind of mark. So Titan, although it did look really sketchy for them, not quite down and out just yet. And LDLC.White opting to go for a few Tech 9s. Let's look at the economy for Titan. It's not great, but it's definitely doable to buy up next round if they do lose this one, although it will be a force. Existence there in prime position. The flashbang, I think, actually hit the Titan players on the right-hand side of the drop zone, but it didn't matter anyway. LDLC.White just run on through with the Tech 9s and just clean up with ease. Smith is at the back still. He's going to take his opportunity to land that shot finally. And that's really puts a spanner in the works for LDLC.White. Fuchs is still there. It's not like that was a silence there before. He must have known that Smith was in that position. He's been there a couple of times already. That's really awkward. That being said, it's still one-on-one. Twanu's here. He speaks around the corner at the worst possible second. He starts to look to his left-hand side. Maybe assuming that Shocks had just came through drop zone. And that is, in itself, going to sign his death warrant. Timeout is called from LDLC.White. Apparently there's a buggy PC issue. So hopefully that's resolved shortly. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm derping. I'm exhausted. I just got back from LAN, so I filled in. I think James and DDK are doing the Turner qualifications, I believe, the Road to Las Vegas, over on Face It TV1, if you want to watch that. So I'm a bit delirious right now. Hopefully it's still decent-ish. Anywho, LDLC.White, no surprises where they're pushing. It's going to be B, lads. Why not? And you know, the thing is, I'm kind of half trolling there. It's been successful for them. Yes, they've lost the last few rounds. How many rounds in a row? It's been 4 in a row. But up until that moment, they were very successful on the B side. Again, I do worry a tiny bit they haven't gone for enough fakes onto the A side and trying to draw up the third player. Game drops. Gonna put himself 2 frags. That second one was through smoke as well, just assuming the second player would go for that re-peeking avenging frag, and actually worked out in the benefit of Titan. Yes, RPK's down to 5, but his job is certainly done for this round. Any more frags would be one hell of a success from his perspective. Smith gets picked off. He's been there a couple of times already, so it's a position that Body, of course, is going to go for the pre-fire on. And with RPK being at the health that he is, and with a distinct lack of utility on the side of Titan, LDLC.White is certainly down, but they're not quite out just yet. Here comes the AWP from Twanu. That smoke is pretty decent. It's going to isolate the initial charge. And for some reason, GoTV's like, what's up? Let's switch to the other side of the map, boys, where nothing's happening. Brilliant. What a shot from Twanu, and he's still alive as well. He could go back onto existence. RPK's low. The problem now is they've got a player in the form of Scream, who is snaking his way round the back of them. Twanu lands another shot, but here comes Scream. He's the last remaining player. He's got 5 seconds. The bomb will get planted, but he's not going to give his position away just yet. That smoke, though, could keep Fox alive for a few more seconds right now. You won't know exactly where that came from, but he's got a pretty good idea that Scream is up on the balcony, and indeed he was. Here comes the fake defuse, going to try and draw Twanu out. He's also holding a different angle as well. And Twanu's going to get picked off. Scream will get the clutch and bring us back to a 7-7 scoreline. Oh, boy. Is this caster Babam? Okay, now you guys are trolling me. Do I sound anything like him? Really? Great baits, mate. Yeah, very nicely done by Scream. All the credit in the world to him. He could have rushed to try and stop the initial plant, but played it smart, used his brain, didn't get carried away. And really keeping Titan in this game right now. Smith is there on point. He gets the frag. The bomb's been dropped. Look where that bomb is as well. And because of the Molotov, it forced out the terrorist to quickly react without necessarily thinking about it a great deal. But now Twanu comes in for 2 frags. And it's back onto another 2 versus 2 situation. And he's on the side. He's picked himself up a 3rd. Can Scream, rinse and repeat. Twanu's on for the ace. He's down to 8 HP. There's a lot of time to play with for the terrorists right now. Scream gets the first and the second as well. And Scream gets 2v1 clutches back to back. Destroying LDLC.White's chance of taking the lead into half time. The Belgian beast is here to stay. What a individual performance that is from Scream. And those are the kind of plays that really get the rest of your team amped up and hyped. And by the way, I'd just like to draw the attention to the fact LDLC.White losing by a round. Twanu has already dropped his 20 bomb. 20 for 8. Unbelievable. Imagine if one other player was stepping up that big right now. LDLC.White would be head and shoulders above Titan. Incredible individual performance from Twanu. And maybe he can just lead his team to victory here on this second half as LDLC.White are getting the frags where it counts. But Smith walks in, switches to the burst fire, executes down math end, and now it's Twanu. It's the man in question. Smith, however, has the bombs. This is going to be a bomb plant, whatever happens.
Bomb has been planted.
And now the shoot is on the other foot. Gonna play the mind games with a decoy, and Smith's peaks round. 1 Glock 4 headshot to Twanu. And you might have yourself 22 frags, mate, but a Glock headshot is still going to take you down all the same. Cut down to size, Titan, pick up the second pistol. I could almost hear the collective sigh of relief from all those Titan fans in chat. It's not over just yet, though, guys. Still a long way to go. Nicely done as well at the end from Smith, who threw the decoy to the left-hand side of the stables, trying to draw out some of that fire. Even if it's for a millisecond, that could potentially get you the clutch. So, nice idea with the decoy. Wasn't required in the end. 2-1-2 though. Make that a 2-1-1. And just as I was saying, this is not over just yet. There's still a long way to go. LDLC.White, I'm going to be backing up that statement. Coming into this round with just upgraded pistols with the Kevlar. They now find themselves just one frag away from drawing this back to a 9-8 scoreline. A lot of time to play with for Shock, so he can afford to check every corner. It's not like he's got to rush straight in there. It's a two-player stack! The Leaning Tower of LDLC.White. The skyscraper stands tall and delivers the fatal blow. I tell you what, all things considered, that's not a terrible idea. They knew where the bomb was. And what's the chance of you peeking around the corner and checking for a stack like that? Honestly, you're going to be coming around head height. You may get one frag, but the chance of getting both of them pretty low. Either way, frags coming in once again as LDLC.White are putting down Titan with authority. Maybe somewhat angry at themselves for letting such a huge lead slip. I think it was 7-3 at one point. Indeed it was. It was 7-3 to LDLC.White. You can see right now. 7-2 actually. Even worse. 7-2 to LDLC.White. They went from 7-2 to 8-7 at half time. It then became 9-7. And then LDLC.White have managed to get themselves a couple rounds on the board again. So we're all even. Titan on an eco. Have some Deagles, however, in play. Where there's Deagles, never quite right off the tee. Shox has taken some serious damage there in the B side, though. Down to 35. RPK, similarly, it has been tagged. Existence, who is pushing through drop zone, gets finished off. Body is there, and there's M4. Aim is on point. Bomb has been dropped on mid. And now it's all on the aforementioned Shox, who ate the grenade damage at the very start of the round, who is here to potentially finish it off. Hello. How you doing? Head's just been destroyed. It's going to leave a mark. And now Shox, after giving his position away, still has the time to maybe try and play some mind games and fake out the other side rotate. That is going to keep Devil interested. So Devil's maneuvered his way through. Going all the way back. He's going to be holding the angle as if Shox does go for that rotation. Now, if another 1 dig lands, business could very well be on right now for Shox. 29 seconds left. Oh, he just made a footstep there. That has been heard. I'm almost certain that Twanu heard that. Yeah, Devil's starting to come in. Twanu is there on point. And there's the peak. And there is the round going to LDLC.White. I thought maybe, just maybe, Shox had a huge play in store for us. Instead, LDLC.White have just about closed out another one. They've got enough economy to drop an AWP, if they so choose, for Twanu. But they're going to stick with the A4s instead. And the A1S, of course, on Fox. Who's the caster? I met this, guys. It's in the title. Well, my Twitter's in the title. Alright, but here we go. Titan put back on their big boy pants. They got the AKs, the Kevlar, the grenades. The first big test, I suppose you could say, from LDLC.White, other than that force-up round they did after the pistol. This is the first full rifle round from both teams, though. And this is going to be quite indicative of how things may very well go. If Titan win this, it could potentially put LDLC.White into a force buy, and then things could come crumbling down. That house of cards could very well come tumbling over. Fox with the initial peek. Smith does get one. He's traded out, and look, the bomb's been dropped as well. A lot of information. It should allow one of those B plays to start to rotate. They're a bit slow in the rotation, though, and this could really hurt Math End. He's trying his best to just sit on this site for dear life. He just wants to pick up a frag here or there. The bomb has been dropped now from Math End, but he goes peeking and will be punished in the worst possible way, and that's with a bullet between the eyes. Devil maybe going to try and use that smoke to his advantage right now. Shoots out the vent, trying to fake out the push through murder hole. Just has a quick sidestep. Good positions from Titan, though, it has to be said. Well, that's if the frag gets landed. Devil has a defuse kit as well. If shots gets picked off in the next couple seconds, this is going to get really sticky for Titan. That being said, though, well played by Shocks, jumping up on top of the hut and going back down again, keeping himself scarce, keeping himself mobile. And LDLC.White will be in for that buy. Murder hole. Well, it's a pretty good chance it was between the eyes. Okay. Maybe over-exaggerated. Deal with it. That's pretty much what it is. Villa. Or Vile. Vila. Vile. Ew. It is effectively a hole where a lot of murder happens, right? Murder hole. Yeah, it was very confused at the end, but it was very well played from the Titan guys. They're keeping it mixed up. Just trying to play the time. Either way, into round 21 we go. The early stages, Existence has met his demise. But so has Body. And the fact that that is a pick over on the A side could very well bait out this play from Titan. And beautifully so. Smiths is trying to keep them interested with that Molotov. Maybe stop the initial charge so he can keep his attention towards the smoke side of mid. RPK snaked his way into drop zone. He has been undetected thus far. Math End is thinking about maybe jumping up. He can hold the passive angle though. And now here comes the flash and the inevitable push afterwards. RPK's hungry for this one. The flash lands in both their faces. He picks up the one frag, nearly the second. Finally gets it done. And now a third as well. RPK, the one-man mountain. RP Tank has just gone massive. Picks himself up 3 kills. Secures the round pretty much by himself for Titan. Unbelievable plays from him. Just raw entry fragging potential. And LDLC.White now do not have a pot to piss in. A very British term. Deal with it. It's hard to deal with RPK when he's on form, and he's had quite a quiet best of 3 so far, but maybe that was the perfect time to step things up. There is a boost in for LDLC.White as they hope and pray that someone makes the mistake of pushing into them, and that man will be RPK. The frag comes straight out from Scream. And that's really smart, actually, to just tap across there, assuming they would go for the AK-47. Very, very intelligent play from him. And pre-fire, living up to its name. Scream picks himself up another 2. And that is a lights-out counter-strike now for LDLC.White. It's on Fox. And they will definitely go hunting right now for him. He's gone massive? Well, so have I. That was a perfect time to put Kappa in, by the way. You missed your chance. So at least Fox will keep his AK and his Kevlar. Yo, Tirken, thanks, man. I hope to be at one day, but we'll just have to see. Now, this is the kind of position where maybe a bit of a lack of experience on the side of LDLC.White, being in these kind of scenarios against top teams like Titan, could hurt them. Do they go for the panic button? Do they end up pushing that self-destruct button? Let's see. We saw how resilient they were to come back from that first map deficit to just wreck on Cash 16-2. This is where the grit of a team is really measured. It's really tested And LDLC.White are up against it right now. Titan are starting to find their voice. They're starting to find their footing once more. Shox is now opened up with 2 frags. And again, that AK-47 and Kevlar is looking to try and stay on the battlefield from Fox. And he's going to go up into the tower, or Harry Potter, as some people would refer to it as. How many rounds in a row? 3. Soon to be 4, as this bomb will detonate momentarily. Twanu had 20 kills at the start of this half, and he has kept it going. You sometimes see like a player who's really hot in the first half will slow down into almost obscurity, but Twanu is still putting the frags down. He's still trying his best to keep his team moving forward. The problem is there is a big cut-off between him and the next player. And between him and the bottom fragger of Fox, there is 17 frag kill spread. Pretty massive. However, that's in the past. Let's focus on to the present, the here and the now, where LDLC.White, quite simply, if they lose this round, that is a big foot out of this best of 3, because they're likely not going to get another fantastic buyout before this one reaches its conclusion. That's a great way of starting things off. Body will connect it down. Double up set up for LDLC.White, one of which was made. The other one's on B side, which is in the hands, the very capable hands of the aforementioned Twanu. In fact, let's have a look at him. I was going to say, surely he's got Shox in his sights, but Shox is behind the platform box. The smoke is also connected, so that allows him to maneuver a little bit, give him a bit of wiggle room. But again, it's the man, the tank himself, who's pushing through drop zone. Doesn't get that spray quite on point. I am really surprised that RPK did not get that frag, and I don't mean that against him personally. That looked dead on him. I'm more surprised the guy shooting at didn't die there. But either way, it doesn't really matter, because Smiths is now the last player. Although a couple of players are pretty low on LDLC.White, so let's see how economically damaging he can make this before he inevitably falls down. Molotov goes in. The first one was extinguished. That's kind of unfortunate from LDLC.White. They were hoping that would stave off the initial push. And now Smiths fears no man. He goes straight in. That's a beautiful one-tap onto Twanu. Can he get any more from this? 2 players are low. Actually, hold on a second. This is even clutchable. He spins around, maybe preemptively assuming that someone's in the chicken coop or behind the statue. I was starting to get a bit hype there. I was thinking, hold on a second. I saw the time. I saw the player's HP. I saw them line up, and I thought, no. It can't be possible. Not like this. It did look a bit weird at the end when he spun around, but I really do think that he was assuming someone would be behind a statue, like going for an initial avenge peek. If he pulls it off, he looks like an absolute friggin' genius. Let's be honest. A couple of terrorists have just charged straight out, though, and Twanu, who was the player on platform, who was pretty much isolated from the smokes and the flashes, he does get a kill, but it's too little too late. That being said, Fox is still here, and no man's land. He picks up a frag. How is this happening? Now Titan again, in a 4-on-2 scenario, are looking like they could go down and out. They shocks the channelers in their scream, who picked off 2v1 clutches in a row. The only good news is that Shox has the bomb, and he's going to get a free plant from it. The bad news is that they know exactly where he is, or roughly where he is, I should say. If he maneuvers himself into a good enough position, it may not even matter, though. Oh, he's going to hide around the corner. They're going to be expecting this one. A couple flashes are down. Fox gets flashed from his teammate. That is Curtin's bodies now. The last player lands the shot with the AWP. And we'll get the defuse. This game has been hell. It's just been hell on earth. As far as Titan are concerned, the amount of times that they should have wrapped up maps, they should have wrapped up rounds, and instead LDLC.White get the clutches. The yo-yo effect of Counter-Strike continues. The seesaw goes back and forth, and now it's in LDLC.White's hands. I think my voice is actually going to leave me after this game. It's like done with me. It's just going to run away. But that's what these teams are doing to me. There's been so many of these kind of rounds of this best of 3. I don't even know how many clutches we've had so far. And our Titan come out swinging the best possible way with entry frags onto both Devil and Twanu. Bomb has been planted. Surely we're not going to have another miraculous play from LDLC.White. No, I think they've bit the bullet here. They're tapping out of this round. They're going to just back away to the site, save these weapons. They've got an AWP and a couple of M4s. This will, however, put them just a couple rounds away from defeat. Fragging from body. Okay. He's putting down the Titan players left, right, and centre. Smith's going to get a chance to one-tap him here. And I think, smartly, Smith decides, nope. I've just seen two of my players get shreked in front of my eyes. I don't want to be number 3 here. So he is going to allow them to keep those weapons. So a decent hold, nonetheless, from LDLC.White, who will be able to drop a couple more weapons across to their teammates if they so choose. It's going to have to be a FAMAS and maybe something like a Mag 7 here. If they do want to drop. Instead, opting for the grenades and a couple 5.7s. If you use 5.7s at close range, it is pretty devastating. So, I can understand the play here. It does surprise me somewhat, though, that Twanu's not taking the AWP from Body, but I guess that's just a personal preference kind of situation. Body has been pretty solid with the AWP so far on the CT side. Oh my god, Devil. Oh, he goes in for the AK. I'm not entirely sure that was the correct play, you know. You must assume that there's more terrorists out there. You can see he lowered his aim to pick up that AK-47, and doing so, gift wrapped his life across to the side of Titan. That being said, 4-on-3, Twanu's down to 38. He's the lone close defender on B with the 5.7. He's going to be playing this one passive. Problem now is that he also has to keep an eye on drop zone, so he has to divide his attention between 2 different locations entirely. He's been tagged again, down to 12. It's one of those split-second decisions, I feel. Like, if he gets the AK and he gets away with it, then that could change the dynamic of the round. The problem is that because he ended up dying there, it's pretty much lights out for the rest of LDLC. Fox tries with the AWP, but can't get it done. And now what's that economy looking like for LDLC? I think they will be able to get together some assault rifles. Oh my goodness, actually, the economy is way worse than I originally thought. Only one M4A4 will be coming out with 5.7s behind it. A FAMAS as well, actually, does get picked off, but that means Fox is going to have no grenades. There's no defuse kit. Only the 1 HE. Well, LDLC.White, if you're going to come back into this game, you have to pull off another one of those crazy rounds. You're going to have to see someone step up big. Alternatively, maybe Titan will make a mistake. Maybe they'll give them a chance to get back into this matchup. Best case scenario right now for LDLC.White is overtime. Go for the aggressive plays up on the platform. LDLC.White utilising one of those smokes. There's a second as well. The thing is, if you can keep Titan at bay for a considerable amount of time and then maybe force them to execute on a site with something like 10-15 seconds left. Shocks, by the way. What the hell? Headshot through the smoke into Devil's face. I was going to say, if they can keep Titan down to like 20-25 seconds and then they charge in, that's where the 5.7s can really come good. At close range, when you're not checking every corner, that's where the pistols strike. Thank you very much, by the way, GoTV, for not watching Smiths and just keeping me on platform. I really appreciate that. That's great banter. It truly is. Twanu, though, behind the box. What can he get done? Not much is the answer, and with him dropping, so does B, by and large. It's on math end. He's not had a fantastic best of 3. He's fallen down. And now Fox, who is the bottom fragger for both teams, is coming in with the A4. No Kevlar's behind it. The flashbang lands, and so does the frag. Titan are going to dodge a bullet. Whoa, whoa, chill out there, mate. Chill out there. There you go.